Hello everyone, this is Myths and Magic, and welcome back to episode 3 of the D&D Stories in Campaign 1. I hope you've been enjoying this series so far, as I've been putting quite a lot of work into it. Just a quick disclaimer, after this upload, I will be releasing videos bi-weekly, maybe, because the school season's coming up, the first term of my A-levels is coming up. So if you're seeing less uploads from me, that's why. As usual, just sit back, relax, and enjoy. We begin yet again at Stonehill Inn. The party awake and waste no time getting geared up for their next mission. Augustus donned his usual golden armor and spear. Now clean and clear of rust, the face engraved within his mask gleamed in the morning sunlight. It modelled a face with a helmet with a red plume flowing from the top. Freya wore brown breeches, an olive green shirt, and on top leather armor covered with a specially formulated wax, which made it resistant to acid, while still allowing for his semantic movements when spellcasting. Over all of this, he wore a long brown coat, flaring the collar for some chic. They broke their fast, fed their horses, and packed their carts with rations, camping gear, and Bellicor in the back, with his dog food. They set out in their cart. Instead of heading north like the day before, the party head east of the island to the castle. They head down the miners' trail and are met with the woodland area. The trees were sparse and spread out near the town of Phandalin. However, as the group headed east, the forest became thicker and thicker. The only sunlight shining down were small blades of yellow stabbing through the trees. This was the very path they first came into Phandalin, except they kept heading eastbound. They discussed more of this mystery. Now there are multiple dwarf brothers, 3 to be exact, one of whom they have just met earlier and also scared off. There's also a hidden mine on the island, somewhere with an allegedly large store of gold, which the brothers were after. They eventually parked the carts off the road into more busy terrain. They set up camp and rested early by the makeshift fire. Augustus was fast asleep, while Freya studied his Tome of Infinity. The next morning they set off again, and after resting 2 more nights, the area started to clear, and the rushing sound of water drew closer. There was a lake nearby, the same lake that flowed near Phandalin. Augustus stopped off and collected some water in his water skin. He muttered an incantation, and his armor glowed with a soft sun-like yellow luminescence. They kept following the lake to find wooden walls shattered and sundered, while a mostly intact bailey was held aloft by a large hill. The party placed the carts away from the castle and moved in closer. Stepping through one of the broken walls which had been previously attached to one of the connecting towers, many tents lined the base of the hill. Many trebuchets were scattered around the area, left deserted with only moss and rot accompanying them. The main gate had grown decrepit too, whether to time or battle none can say. Augustus looked around and thought to himself, "No rangers here. All that dwarf must have found were corpses." "Are you sure we're at the right place?" Freya asked. "Some of the members of the Lion's Shield said it was along this river, and I have a feeling it's the right place. I feel many a presence here." "Where? In those old and very deserted tents?" "No, the keep on the hill." They looked up towards it. Stone walls surrounded the main bailey with a large gateway at the front. There were many towers, topped with blue tiles, and between them, the walls were slightly more intact than the wooden ones. As they drew closer, they saw a flickering orange glow. A fire. A small group of 3 goblins surrounded the campfire, cooking some small rabbits. While they spoke in their own language, some words of common tongue slipped through. Freya casted a spell, blasting back one, while Bellicor tackled another, with flaming trails behind him. Meanwhile, Augustus chucks his spear at the last one. The one Freya blasted stood up and tried to run, but Bellicor quickly pushed it to the floor and still left it alive. Freya seized the goblin and demanded, "What is this place?" "Our hideout. We use it as a base of operations." "Who else is here?" Augustus asked. "Why should I tell you?" "Well, Augustus, if he's not talking, we don't have any more use for him. Should we do it quick? Maybe slow would be fun." Okay. Some other goblins and our leader, the Goblin King. He found this castle deserted and commanded the Gits to hold it. Why? Augustus questioned. The goblin shrugged. Are you sure you don't know? My hound here is very hungry. I'm sure. Okay, you can go. I want you to get out of here. No looping back around and telling any friends, okay? The goblin ran off, hopping side to side on its small, stunted legs. The party headed inside the castle, passing an empty stable on the way. Augustus went first. As he stepped in, a loud stone clink resonated through the hallway, and swinging from the ceiling was a large wooden slab riddled with makeshift spikes and heading forcefully towards Augustus. Even in heavy armor, Augustus dodges the makeshift trap, with a couple of spikes catching and scratching the golden armor. They waited for the inevitable sound of goblins coming their way. However, none came. Thankfully, no one had been alerted. Instead, a rumbling from upstairs responded, but stopped. No one came down. They continued onwards to find more goblins in an armory. Freya sneaks in the armory and grabs what seems to be their leader, garbed in leather and bones. There was a standstill. Both groups had their weapons drawn, yet lay unmoving. The rumbling began again, and the goblins ran away, all but the leader, which Freya clutched by the collar. Are you this Goblin King? Freya asked. The goblin only laughed. No, the big boss is a lot bigger than I is. Where is he? Downstairs. The rumbling happened again. Listening closely, the sound of metal rattling can be heard from above. That rumbling, what is that? A beast. Bigger than he is. King captured him on the way here. Both Freya and Augustus were equally confused. They let the goblin go and started to head upstairs. Gingerly, they creeped up and opened the door. Inside was an ogre, hunched and cramped, with chains cuffed around his ankles and wrists. He was thin-skinned and bony, but still had a largely built, strong frame. Who are you? He asked. Some adventurers, Augustus said. And why are you chained? I tried snatching some goblins for lunch. Didn't expect that large one, that Goblin King. Pretty sure they're holding me here until they get tired of rabbit and deer. I have a proposal, Freya said. We'll break you loose, and you kill this king for us. Deal, he quickly responded. Augustus swung his silver sword overhead and cut the chains loose. Immediately he rushed downstairs with the party, following suit. The ogre tore open a trapdoor and squeezed inside. A drow was flung out of the trapdoor and smashed against the wall, knocking her out. The party hadn't even headed down, and loud crashing sounds came from the basement. It drew on for about a minute. Need any help, big guy? Freya asked. Resounding no came from the ogre. Augustus focused for a minute. Freya? Yeah? Something's wrong. That ogre has evil intentions. He's beating the hell out of him. He looks so hungry, I'll bet he eats that Goblin King's corpse. No. He has evil intentions against me. By extension, us. Freya sighed. Okay, I'm done waiting. I'm gonna kill both of them now. Augustus waited as Freya went downstairs. Fire roared from below, and an orange hot glow emanated from the trapdoor. Freya came back up, covered in black ash. And alongside him was an unconscious dwarf in tow. Hello everyone. This week's miniature of the week is this. It's my White Scars Spartan tank. It was part of a box set, of the Horus Heresy box set, that I split with my friend. And this was the first time I truly painted a big vehicle. And I did it entirely by paintbrush and sponge, no airbrush, because I wanted to get a rough and war-torn look. I really enjoyed painting this. I mixed in shades of blue and grey, and overall I thought it was a fun experience. As usual, if you're interested in perhaps purchasing these or seeing more content to do with this sort of stuff, please let me know down in the comments below. If you've made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. If you enjoy the content I'm producing, please feel free to like and subscribe. I'll also have links for my other socials down below. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.